Welcome, guys. Sigolo Atobis here. On today's episode, I want you to pay attention and watch this closely. And this episode talk about the difference between man shao and tan shao. So, because some people misplace it and don't know the difference between the both hand. Man shao is like this. Man shao is like this. So center line. Show your center line, right? So that man shall secure your center like this. So, and the only thing you can use on man shall is by moving front. So once you move front, so that means that you are using your opponent's strength against him. So your opponent, if I thought your opponent throw his punch like this, and you relate with his punch with your man shall like this. So the only thing you can do is to move in like this. So that is your man shall, and that man shall is going to make your opponent hand work against him, because your opponent's strength is going to work against your opponent, because your opponent throws straight point like this and you relate with it like this. So you now secure your center line by moving in like this, and your opponent hand is going to be full, even if you are told your opponent put more pressure on that hand. So if your opponent put more pressure on that hand, so that hand is going to be redirecting. So that your man shall is going to redirect your opponent force like that. So that is on man shall. So now, if you now want to use your man shall and combine it with your punch like this, so because you have to know the difference between man shall and tan shall. So you just like this. So if you want to attack your opponent, you can attack your opponent like this. So you can attack your opponent under like this, or you control you just divert that man shall, that strength uh, to lap your opponent and use palm strike on your opponent like that. So that is the brilliant use of your man shall. So, and that is going to help you if at all your opponent want to throw punch, the second punch. If at all your opponent notice that you have already put more pressure, this hand have already put more pressure on him, right? So, and you resort to lap shall, so your opponent just throws it. So that is that. So it will be very easier for you to hold this hand like this. So, and you apply on your opponent and you go for your opponent jaw like that. So you have, that is Wing Chun sensitivity, right? So you sense your opponent strength like that. So if you relate with your opponent man shall like this, so you can put more pressure. So you want to attack your opponent center line. So there are many things you can use on your opponent: punch, or punch your opponent like this, or you lap, you resort back to lap. So if you are lapping your opponent hand, so and your opponent use the second punch right here, so it will be very easier for you, because this hand is going to leave your hand, because you have already relate with this hand and you put more pressure on like this. So you now want to resort to lap shall, so your opponent now use that opportunity to use the second punch. So it is very easier for you to lap that hand like that, because you have already positioned your hand correctly in this at the center, right? And that is going to create an effective hit on your opponent like that. So that is that about that on man shall. So man shall, you can go like this. So, and with your man shall also, you can do many things. So you can go like this. So you go with your man shall like this. So control your opponent like this, and you clean sweep your opponent. So your opponent, and you slam your opponent down on the ground like that. So meanwhile, I don't want to use that fully on my student, right? Let me do this from this side so that you can see it clearly. So you are using your man shall. So man shall. So you just go like this. Just go like this. So you hold your opponent shoulder like this, and you use here to hit your opponent neck like this, and you control your opponent like that. So that is going to make your opponent fall down like that. I hope you see that clearly. So there are many things, like I said, you can use from man shall. So you can go like this. So you can go like this, go under, go to your opponent center. So you just go like that. So that's that. So that is your man shall. And at the same time, you can also resort back to lap shall. You can lap your opponent like that. So just punch your opponent. So that is on man shall. But on tan shall, they look alike, but you are using your hand to control your opponent hand, simulate and control your opponent hand like this, as you can see. As you can see, so you can see the difference, right? This hand is right here. So that is that about that. So and also you can also push your tan shall outside. But if you are doing that, that means you want to do two things at the same time, right? So you just go like this. So control your opponent and watch how I uh, I want to clean sweep my opponent like that. So just go like this. So just go like that. So so now we direct it to this side, to see this side, and this leg is right here. So now you support it with your hand like this. So you now control your opponent like this. Sorry. So and that is going to make your opponent lose his balance and fall down like that. So that is on Tanshao. So Tanshao, you can use your Tanshao to absorb energy, right? So like this, absorb that energy and redirect the force right here, and you punch right here. So you just go like this. So you redirect your opponent punch that your opponent punch your center line, and you redirect it a little bit to your side right here, so that you can easily open your opponent face. So open your opponent center line, right? So you just go like that. So that is Tanshao. So so that is on Tanshao, or you go for your opponent call right here. So you just so that is on Tanshao. So and one other thing you have to know about Tanshao is that you can use your Tanshao for both hand, right? So if your opponent use Tanshao, and your opponent use this hand also, so you can usually use this hand to simulate and open your opponent center like that. So just go like that. So if it is your opponent head, you go for your opponent head like that. So you just go like that. So you just go like that. So that is how Tansha work. So you control, you secure you divert your opponent force that is coming to your center line a little bit sideways to neutralize and to absorb that your opponent's energy. So that is the benefit and that is the work of Tanshao. So, but in Manshao, so you use your opponent's force against him. So you use your opponent's force against him, no matter how rigid or how powerful your opponent's punch may be. So you use your center line to destroy your opponent's center line. So like this, so you can see. So and my hand is right at the center of my opponent, like that. So and that is going to even affect my opponent's structure like that. So that is that about that. So if you have any question, drop it at the comment section. And if you want to join my personal online training, in which I'm going to be teaching you everything step by step, in a way that you are going to become expert, and you are not going to miss any technique and any tactics about my Wing Chun. So and you are going to become expert in no time. Hit me up at the comment section, and I'll be right here to tell you how you can join my personal online training. And if you have any question, drop it at the comment section also, and I'll be right here to answer you. Keep on liking, keep on subscribing, and keep on sharing. Peace and heart.